get into your teaching, and how, you know, as a brother, what made you or what inspired you to want to be a teacher?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, you know, to be honest with you, man, a lot of people in my family, whether it was with little kids or even in the high schools and PE, I got a lot of educators in my family, from aunts and grandmothers and mother. My father even kind of dibble-dabbled in teaching too. And man, it just was, you know, I got a chance to do like some volunteering with kids, and I really just enjoyed it. And so it turned from volunteering my time in high school and college with little kids into saying, hey, this is something I'd like to do full time and pursue it that way. But I knew of a professor, actually African-American male professor, who was a friend of my family. And he said, hey, would you be interested in you think teaching at the community college level? And at the time I was like 25. I was barely, you know, a kid myself, right? Or just getting out of, you know, still a young man, very close to these students' ages and things of that nature. And he gave me a shot to do some part-time teaching at a community college. And man, I was hooked. I really stopped working in the K-12 system professionally. I kind of still do it voluntarily, but you know, ever since 2005, I was like, man, I love this community college age, because it's a cool mixture of young adult, and even some elders. And it gives me a lot of challenges, because a lot of the population that I want to work with, especially in higher ed, is in the community colleges in California. That's where all the Black and brown students are. You know, okay. They're not really at the Stanfords or the UCLA's, you know, the way that we may think when we watch college football or college basketball on the weekends, right? Okay. In the classrooms, they're just not there. They're really in the community colleges. And then, you know, the more I've studied the community college and the more I've researched and been in depth in it, the California Community College, which I've come to find out, has the most African-American male students of any college system in the United States, wow. Even more so than the Black colleges, right? So, you know, I want to impact the Black community and Black culture and Black thought and critical thought. And so the community college offers me that opportunity. In addition to, you know, Black thought, I want to impact people. And so it's a way for me to teach, a way for me to still make my impact. And it's really offered me a great, you know, career so far. So I'm a lifelong educator, man. As I mentioned, I started volunteering, then I started working in the K through 12, you know, elementary and high school system first, and got my feet wet. But then when I, you know, got a taste of that community college opportunity, and again, this was in 2005, man, it hooked me, and it's been on ever since. So, okay. You know, yeah, long history of educators in the family, long history of entrepreneurs in the family, and I'm just doing a little bit of a mixture of both, you know.
Good. Now, so two things come to mind when you say that to me. So that just shows me how important is it for us to have like models of possibility in our family.
Absolutely.
Because when you see people in your family doing certain things, it doesn't seem out of reach anymore. Mm-hmm. You know, because you mentioned the educators in your family, you mentioned the other professor that you knew, you know, so this is not a person that is just teaching you at a school, but it's a professor you know. So I'm sure that's even making you feel like, well, you know what, if he can do it, I'm sure I can too. So having success in our proximity, regardless of the levels of success in our proximity, can definitely be beneficial to us. Another thing I want to ask you, how do you, as it relates to you in like a Black student, because I'm sure, you know, as we know, teachers have an impact on us, has had an impact on all of us, regardless of the race of the teacher. But being that we are Black, have you seen like just you being there for like a Black student, have you seen them respond to you differently? Or you know, how do you think that dynamic has helped you, or what have you seen with that?
Well, that dynamic has been there since I got in the classroom, for sure. You know, teaching Black students and being Black myself, we share a connection just in terms of experiences for a lot of, you know, in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
But then also